So, a few years ago, I was spending an afternoon procrastinating in my bed scrolling through YouTube when I saw a video that piqued my interest. It was the new Amoeba Records What's in My Bag segment with Todd Jones from Nails. I really like Nails, so I clicked on it. In it, Todd Jones mentioned a lot of different bands from a lot of different genres. But there was one band that piqued my curiosity. I wasn't even looking at the screen when Todd Jones started talking about them, but when I heard the song that was playing in the background, I immediately looked at it. I looked at the cover of the record that Todd was holding. I clicked off the video, and I went searching for the record, finding it straight away, listening to it in one sitting. That record is Exit Order's Seed of Hysteria, and in this video, I'll try to explain what makes it so great. Before I talk about this record in more detail, there is something that I need to explain. When it comes to remarkable records, I usually separate them into two different categories, depending on how I see them. The first of these two categories is what I describe as innovative records. These are records that either have a great indistinguishable sound that I haven't heard before, or that mix genres in a way that I find refreshing and new. That is not the case for this record, simply because a lot of aspects that you can find in this album have been elements of different hardcore punk records for decades. Seed of Hysteria fits into the second category. This category is not for records who bring new sounds or ideas into the mix, but for records who perfect them or come close to doing so. And the way this record sounds is by far the biggest reason why I place it into this category. The production suits the record tremendously well. Ryan Abbott's guitars are incredibly raw and really heavy, especially when he uses palm muting, which happens a lot. Ryan Taylor's bass is loud and thick as all hell, and Paul Henry's drums are fiery when they need to be, and very clear with every hit being noticeable. Finally, there's Ana Cataldo's vocals, whose protest-like delivery brings this record to a whole new level of energy and excitement. This creates an awesome atmosphere, really intense and aggressive when it needs to be, and you can hear it perfectly in the faster tracks, like the title track, which is the first one of the record. The building of the tension throughout the intro and the verse is very well done, and man, when that chorus explodes in your face, it's just bliss. This is not the only catchy chorus of the record. As a matter of fact, this record is filled to the brim with them. The following two tracks, Mass Panic and Dead Ringer, are also two great examples of this. Fast, energetic, and urgent punk that you can't help but enjoy. But after three tracks, before we as listeners begin thinking that this has become too much of the same, we get a different type of song. Still Water is the fourth track, and it starts off slow with Ana Cataldo singing instead of shouting, before transitioning to a march as the chorus is sung. After a back and forth between these two stages of the song, out of nowhere a frenzied guitar riff appears only moments before the whole track erupts into madness. After this part, the song transitions back to the march before it ends. Still Water is one of the highlights of the record. And if you don't want to listen to the whole record for some reason, I don't know, then I advise you to at least check the song out. Then again, the record is only 20 minutes long, so that probably isn't an issue here. Although I'm specially recommending Still Water, don't get me wrong, this record is one of those records that you should hear from front to back in one sitting. As a matter of fact, after Still Water, we get banger after banger. Electric Shock, which lives up to its electrifying name, The Order and Making Good are non-stop hardcore punk in its simplest yet most exciting form, while Walk and Wine, in a way slightly similar to Still Water, begins at a slower pace before speeding up. It starts off with a few slogans regarding how society shapes us and makes us walk in line, instead of letting us choose our own paths. You know, standard punk lyrics, before the band shifts gears and starts going at 100 miles per hour. This leads us into the next topic that I'd like to discuss. If you take a look at the lyrics of the record, you might feel a bit unsurprised. It's not that the lyrics are bad. I'm just saying that if you hear a lot of punk records, then you've heard lyrics similar to this. There's many lyrics encouraging a revolt against what are described as the elites. There are lyrics filled with self-doubt and telling tales of misguided youth. And that's fine. Like I said, the reason why I love this record isn't because it reinvented the wheel. It simply polished it. Plus the lyrics complement the songs pretty well. Like I mentioned in my previous video with Sunbather, sometimes the lyrical content is not nearly as important as the way the lyrics are delivered. And like I said previously, Anna Cataldo does a very good job with her vocal delivery. Going back to the track list, we then finally arrive at the last two songs of Seed of Hysteria, Dirt on Your Chest and Clear the Dust. Dirt on Your Chest is as heavy as anything in Seed of Hysteria. And in spite of it being one of the slowest songs, it's still pretty intense. Clear the Dust has probably the darkest atmosphere of the entire record. This is mostly due to Anna Cataldo's vocals, which are much more laid back than on the rest of the album. I find this lack of urgency in its sound much more unnerving than when she shouts. And the contrast between that and this type of singing makes the ending of this song, and consequently of the record, in which she does shout, much more intense. Different records have different reasons for why I enjoy them. I imagine that's the case for almost everyone. And I get really different emotions out of them. And cutting out all of the specific stuff that I mentioned before, the most important reason why I enjoy Seed of Hysteria so much is, well, because it's fun. It's genuinely a fun record to listen to, and one that makes it hard for me to sit down and stand still while doing so. And I guess that's all that there is to talk about. A link for Exit Order's Bandcamp will be in the description below. I'm not sure if they're still active, mainly because they haven't released anything in 6 years. But anyway, make sure to give this record a listen. It most certainly deserves it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and turn on notifications to see when a new video comes out. It's been a while since I posted a month or so. I think it's been like a month or so, and it was due to some things that happened in my personal life but they've all been taken care of by now. So I'll return to my usual schedule of releasing a video every couple of weeks. And I guess that's it. My name is Joe Fiki Fiki. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later with another video.